I'm Nikki, owner of Sunflowers and Sunshowers, which is a holistic life and health coaching business. So what I mean by holistic is that my approach is really about focusing on the whole person. The thing about it is that the mind and the body are deeply connected, and those actually play into every other part of your life. So if you're having problems in one area, it's very likely that those problems will bleed into another area. And that's why I focus on the whole person as a being. And I believe that this is the only way that you can truly create a transformational experience. So you may be wondering what Sunflowers and Sunshowers means. So Sunflowers and Sunshowers is really about hope. It's about growth and it's about perseverance. It's about being able to see the sunshine through the rain and being able to understand that you really need both to grow. And you need both to have balance in this world. And when you learn to appreciate all the things that life throws at you, then you actually are able to see opportunities for growth and recognize that life is happening for you and not to you, so that you're able to grow into the person that you've always been meant to become. It's about realizing that there is peace and beauty in embracing this growth and in embracing both the sunshine and the rain as part of your transformational process. So what I actually do is my niche is really focused on women's empowerment coaching, which aims to help women gain clarity on who they are and on what they want. Understanding the gap between where you are and where you want to be going, and then being able to provide my clients with the mindset and the habits they need to get there. So I've always been an advocate for women's empowerment. In fact, I went through a process for my whole life just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to help people, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do that, but I just knew that something inside of me said, this is your calling, this is your purpose. And I took a long time trying to figure out what that was. I went all the way from, teaching and educating young kids as a tutor and as an au pair. And then I spent some time learning international development and went abroad to work on a project there. And when all that went sideways, I was kind of like, oh, what do I do with my life now? And I fell backwards into a job in cybersecurity, but I always had that nagging feeling, and it would just creep up all the time saying, this is not you. You were made for more than this. You were created to help others. And I eventually got to a place in my life where, because I wasn't doing what my heart really wanted, I was actually incredibly dissatisfied with my life. And it was crazy to me because I had all these wonderful things that I'm supposed to have. I had followed the path that people, try and push you towards, getting a great job, that pays well, and buying a house and having a family. And of course I was grateful for all of those things, but at the end of the day, I still wasn't feeling fulfilled. And when I wasn't feeling fulfilled, I wasn't feeling in alignment with myself. I felt like I was acting out of my integrity. And so I really wanted to make a change because I noticed it starting to really affect who I was. Just being a little bit more impatient and frustrated, and even angry. So what I did is I tried to figure out what was causing this. And in the end, I found out that it was me feeling out of alignment. And so I started doing all this work, doing the inner work, self-discovery, and followed this process. And at the end of all of it, I realized, hey, I can use my mess to create a message, because I feel like I'm probably not the only woman out there who feels like this. So then my goal became very clear, like, oh, Nikki, your purpose is to help other women who are struggling with this like you. And so that's how this whole idea formed. As soon as I realized I wanted to help other women, I went straight ahead and I got coaching certifications. So I got a certification in life and health coaching, and from there just barreled forward and tried to figure out how to grow this coaching business of mine, which is my true passion, and I just love it so much. How my work empowers women is my signature program is called the Seed to Sunflower Transformation, which is obviously about growth and empowerment, as I mentioned. And what the Seed to Sunflower Transformation is all about is about the 4, what I call cornerstones, which lay the foundation for your growth. And those are clarity first, because that's the catalyst for change, realizing that you are not where you want to be, and then understanding what it is that you want. That's really the catalyst for change. It's recognizing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And then next is congruence, which actually comes from acting in integrity with who you are and who you want to be and what you want for your life. So if you're the type of person who has big goals, but you don't actually act on them, then you're feeling like out of integrity with who you are and what you want. Or if you're the type of person who wants to help people in their life, but you end up like me in a job where I felt like I wasn't making an impact, then you feel out of integrity with who you are. So the whole point is for your behavior to be congruent with your being, and that's what congruence is all about. And then the next is capabilities. So after you have clarity and congruence, the next part is, if I want to be this person, what's the gap in my capabilities? How do I grow those capabilities? And a lot of that is in mindset and habits, which I found truly transformational in my life. And then once you have the capabilities, then all of a sudden you have the clarity, the congruence, the capabilities, and that creates confidence, right? Confidence in your ability to do something, because now you have the capabilities, you know exactly what you want, and you're more capable of driving forward. So that's how you get motivated to actually take action in your life and make those changes that are transformational. So that's the foundation. After the foundation, you have the 3-step growth process, which is courage to act, to take that action, because knowledge alone isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. So once you have the courage to actually take that knowledge and put it into action and start taking inspired action to create the life that you want and that you'll love, that's the first growth step, because it's difficult. It's not going to be easy, right? Even though you have all the foundation and you have the capabilities, it's still hard to get that courage to change. And hopefully once you've worked through some of that mindset, those steps will be easier. But you're always going to have those fears in the back of your mind. So it's about, how do I move forward in spite of those? And then next, after courage, is commitment. You have to be deeply committed to getting that thing that you want, and to persevering and walking through whatever obstacles come your way. And so taking that action and committing to that end goal, no matter what, that's the next step to growth. It's commitment. How deeply committed am I? And then after that is consistency. So now that I'm committed, am I doing it consistently? Because even if you fall off the wagon, you got to get back on. You got to keep going. And even if you don't feel like showing up, you got to show up. That's how you make your dreams happen. So it's courage, commitment, consistency, and that's the growth process. So that's the whole program right there. And of course, it's my personal coaching, and it's paired with a workbook that walks you through all those steps. And it's truly transformational. So I'm just so excited about it. I'm so excited to share it with more people. Okay, so how do I motivate myself through difficult times? As I explained, I've done so much personal growth and development work just because it's something that I'm super passionate about, and I have been my whole life. But how do I stay motivated during difficult times? So there is a gentleman named Jim Quick who has this really incredible formula for how to stay motivated. And he says that motivation comes from P times E times S3. And this is actually something that I sort of learned in my coaching and worked through in my own program. But I thought that his way of explaining it was just super simple. It gives you a formula. So I love that. So P is purpose. Having something that you connect with. So not just your reason for doing something, but that real reason that you feel so deeply in your soul, that reason that you have to do it, right? That's your purpose. And then E is energy. And I think this is where so many people fall off. Feeling depleted mentally or physically really cuts into your motivation. And what I mean by that is that so many of us walk around in a tired state all the time and just feel like that's our normal. So that's where my health coaching really comes into play, because a lot of what I focus on is increasing energy, figuring out how to get that energy back in your life. Sometimes it's people that drain you, sometimes it's circumstances, environment, and sometimes it's just what you're not doing physically to make sure that you keep those energy levels up. So energy is a really key component that I think impacts a lot of people. And then next is S3, which is small, simple steps. And this really goes into habits. There are like rules about habit change and how to actually make habit change that sticks. And small, simple steps is absolutely critical, because if you try and tackle something too big, you immediately lose motivation, and you also send your, what we call the critter brain, on alert, because the critter brain does not like change. And it looks at that big thing and goes, this is too much, can't do it. So taking small, simple steps, because if it feels easy, you're more likely to take that step and start. So that's what that formula is all about. And that's really the secret to being motivated. And that's something that I've been using, but that formula is just, it's so key to explaining what it actually is. And I love that. Okay, so what is the best piece of advice that I could give women? I think the best piece of advice that I could give women that I needed to hear was that you don't have to be Superwoman. You don't have to do and be all things for all people, and to actually just allow yourself to be a little bit and to give yourself grace. I think a lot of us are really hard on ourselves, especially when we become mothers. We're straddling this new world of trying to reconcile, still being the best employee and standing out there, and still being, the best we can as a wife and as a housekeeper and as a mother. Just these worlds colliding, and we expect so much from ourselves. And I think that we need to learn to give ourselves a little bit of grace. At least for me, that's probably one of the most important things I've learned, that progress is better than perfection, and that sometimes you just need to allow yourself to be, and to also take care of yourself and not worry about fulfilling everyone else's needs. And so it's important to take care of other people, but not more than it is to take care of ourselves. That's how you best serve the people that you love and take care of the people you love, by taking care of yourself first. It's like what people tell you about being on a plane, you have to put on your own oxygen mask first. So my favorite quote is actually a quote that I created from my website. So it's, may you be like a sunflower. May you always face the sun and keep the shadows at your back. May you have enough grit to embrace the sun and the rain as necessary for your growth. And may you grow so tall and so beautiful that the very sight of you elevates and inspires others. May you be like a sunflower. And so that's one of my favorite quotes, because I feel like it just... My other favorite quote is, for a seed to achieve its greatest expression, it must come completely undone. The shell cracks, its insides come out, and everything is changed. To someone who doesn't understand growth, it would look like complete destruction. And so I love this so much, because it just basically says to me that in order for you to be your very best, sometimes you have to go through an entire mess, and the growth is messy and it's hard, but at the end, if it's all worth it for you to achieve your ultimate goal or your ultimate expression. And so I just love that quote so much, because I think it's really beautiful. And that's by Cynthia Ocelli. So Anyway, those are two of my very favorite quotes. And I wanted to share a little bit about what it's like to be an entrepreneur. So when I first started on this journey, I realized that so much of what I was doing, I had just started this thinking, hey, you're going to create a life coaching business and all you have to do is gain life coaching skills and then open up shop and create a website and boom, you're done. But being an entrepreneur is so much more than that. There is a lot to learn and a lot to do. It's the marketing, it's the content creation, it's everything. And actually that's one of the things that I love so much about being an entrepreneur is that there are so many different things to do. You get to wear many hats, so you're never bored, but also it's a continuous growth and learning process, which is obviously something that I am so passionate about and inspired by. So I think that's definitely my favorite thing about being an entrepreneur. The last thing I really wanted to share is my links for social media and how you can find me. So my website is www.sunflowersandsunshowers.com, and my social media handle for Instagram is @sunflowersandsunshowers, so just all one word. And then you can also find me on Facebook. My business page is also Sunflowers and Sunshowers. So really simple, everywhere it's the same name. And as I said, I am currently sharing with everyone my new program, which is the Seed to Sunflower Transformation. It's something that I'm so incredibly proud of and I've seen such amazing results with. And I am also in the process of creating some free content for people. So a little workbook and a free 14-day habit hack challenge, which I had done before, but I'm actually just revamping and re-releasing for anyone. So it's 14 days of learning all kinds of habits that are really integral to changing your life and to setting you on the right path and why they're important. So you can look out for that. I will be sharing that on my social media in the coming weeks. And I am so excited to work with you. So if you'd like to work with me, you can reach out on my website at sunflowersandsunshowers.com. There you'll find a little link that says work with me, and you can book a free clarity call. So I'm actually offering free clarity calls to anyone who's interested in the program. And those clarity calls are 60 minutes, and they are really just to help you with that first step. So taking that first step. And if you're ready and willing to take that first step, I would be so excited and honored to have you. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.